Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Chuck Schumer calls for Frankens' resignation after new woman reveals what he did to her. Democratic Senator Al Franken was just hit by his most disgusting accusation yet. He was between me and the door and he was coming at me to kiss me. It was very quick and I think my brain had to work really hard to be like, wait, what is happening? Described a woman whose name has been withheld. But I knew whatever was happening was not right and I ducked. I was really startled by it and I just sort of booked it towards the door and he said, "It's my right as an entertainer," she said. I don't want to be in the position of deciding whether to tell this story, but I'm not the person who put me in that position. He did that. I think for this moment in time to lead to meaningful change there has to be more than I'm ashamed, but I remember things differently accounting, she said. After this accusation, 31 Democratic senators called for Franken to resign. Even Chuck Schumer. Senator Franken should resign. I consider Senator Franken a dear friend and greatly respect his accomplishments, but he has a higher obligation to his constituents in the Senate, and he should step down immediately, said Schumer. Franken denied the woman's allegation. This allegation is categorically not true and the idea that I would claim this as my right as an entertainer is preposterous. I look forward to fully cooperating with the ongoing Ethics Committee investigation, said Franken. Huckabee hits Chelsea Handler with a surprising response after she calls his daughter a whore. Comedian Chelsea Handler made headlines after calling White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders a whore. Huckabee defended his daughter in a brilliant way. That harlot that they're dressing up and trolloping out every day? I mean, one day she has no makeup on at all, the next she has 6-foot-long eyelashes, she's got cleavage and summer whore lipstick all over her face. Can you believe what they turned her into? A proper trollop, said Handler. Huckabee responded in a surprising way. I'm surprised that there were not women on the left who at least had the decency to call her out for this. I know you're probably expecting me to be very angry about it, but truthfully, when I read what she said and then I watched it, I felt sorry for Handler, explained Huckabee. She seems like a very angry and bitter person. Look, she's almost as old as me. So this is at a point in her life, she needs to start mellowing out. And she seems to be just in a rage. The sad thing about it, she boasts about the 2 abortions she had at 16. I think in many ways she's jealous of my daughter, said Huckabee. My daughter has a husband who loves her and is wonderful to her. My daughter has 3 delightful children. She's a happy, balanced person. She enjoys life. She's a pretty straight-laced person, goes to church, and lives a life Chelsea Handler has never known, said Huckabee. God is with us on this, delusional Pelosi just said God favors Democrats for crazy reason. Former House Speaker and current Democratic House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi clearly needs to retire from Washington politics, due both to how mentally decrepit she has become in her advanced age and how out of touch she is with the electorate. In a recent speech, she once again showed how crazy she is by claiming that God is with the Democrats because they would rather shut down the federal government than give up their defense of illegal immigrants. Pelosi, who earlier this year was challenged within her party for her leadership post, gave a press conference on Capitol Hill where she proclaimed that Democrats have the moral high ground over Republicans and will protect Obama's Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program for Dreamers. Said Nancy absurdly, "We are not going to turn this country into a reign of terror of domestic enforcement and have DACA, the Dreamers, pay that price. But I'm optimistic, I always have been. God is with us on this. Our country is great. We know that greatness springs from the vitality that newcomers bring to our country." She added, defending people who are not legally in our country. Either Republicans have the votes or they don't have the votes today. But we have been outspoken about what our priorities are, and this is a fight that is a fight for our country. Are you sick of Pelosi's arrogance and craziness? You're talking about yourself. Jackie Mason crushes Chelsea Handler for calling Sarah Sanders a whore. Bad comedian Chelsea Handler made headlines after calling Sarah Huckabee Sanders a whore. That harlot that they're dressing up and trolloping out every day? Asked Handler in reference to Sanders. I mean, one day she has no makeup on at all, the next she has 6-foot-long eyelashes, she's got cleavage and summer whore lipstick all over her face. Can you believe what they turned her into? A proper trollop, said Handler. Comedy legend Jackie Mason hit Chelsea Handler back in a brutal rant. Chelsea Handler. Do you know who she is? Don't feel bad if you don't, almost nobody knows who she is. This broken down Neandra attacked Sarah Huckabee Sanders. You know why? Because all she knows is that Trump is a conservative and the press is so crazy about attacking any conservative for any reason that she picked her out, said Mason. Do you know what a harlot even means? It means somebody who's a lowlife. You know why? Because you're talking about yourself. Use that name for yourself, don't attack an innocent, decent lady, whose only crime is that you're not too crazy about her, said Mason. Mason also attacked all the congressmen who are undergoing sexual harassment training programs. When you're 3 years old, you learn how to behave with people. You learn how to control yourself, said Mason. Now congressmen who are 67 years old and 98 years old are being told they have to take training at this age to learn how to behave with women. Do you think this training is going to be of any help to them? If they're 95 years old and they still don't know how to behave, when are they going to learn, after they pass away? Asked Mason. Dem Doug Jones blasted by Black community for releasing racist ad 1 week before election. Democrats have gone all out against Alabama Republican candidate Troy Moore. Moore has been accused of underage sexual assault by a number of women. However, there hasn't been much evidence that it is true, and the largest piece of evidence has just been disproven. Moore's accuser added her own notes to the yearbook that she at first accused Moore of writing. Now with just a week left until the election, Democratic opponent Doug Jones just got in major trouble for releasing a racist ad campaign. Think if a black man went after high school girls, anyone would try to make him a senator? He asks below a picture of a skeptical-looking black man. Someone, probably a white man, thought that the image would resonate with black people and motivate them to get out the vote. It's as if black people were considering voting for the child molester until some brilliant strategist posited, "What if he were black, though?" wrote Michael Harriot from The Root in response. The flyer is reductive in its oversimplification of the black mind as only caring about black issues. While it might not be racist, it is certainly racist adjacent, wrote Harriot. Black voters are the base of the Democratic Party. Looking at this ad, it's clear that #Alabama party leaders only care about our votes, not our issues, our community, or our voices, wrote Arshad Robinson, executive director at Color of Change. Chelsea Handler blames President Trump for her house catching on fire. A wildfire has hit Southern California. It has gotten so bad that some Hollywood celebrities have been forced to flee their homes. One of these celebrities is none other than Chelsea Handler. And who does she blame? Donald Trump. Just evacuated my house. It's like Donald Trump is setting the world on fire. Literally and figuratively. Stay safe everyone. Dark times, tweeted Handler. Who knew, but Donald Trump can apparently control fire. He can control the weather. According to Chelsea Handler, President Trump is God. This news comes right after Handler made news for calling Sarah Huckabee Sanders a whore. That harlot that they're dressing up and trolloping out every day? I mean, one day she has no makeup on at all, the next she has 6-foot-long eyelashes, she's got cleavage and summer whore lipstick all over her face. Can you believe what they turned her into? A proper trollop, said handler of Sanders. Earlier Handler claimed that she would be leaving her show to pursue political activism full-time. Like so many across the country, the past presidential election and the countless events that have unfolded since have galvanized me. From the national level down to the grassroots, it's clear our decisions at the ballot box next year will mark a defining moment for our nation, said Handler. For these reasons, I've decided not to return for another season of Chelsea, and instead devote as much time as I can to becoming a more knowledgeable and engaged citizen and to focus on projects that have significance to me, said Handler. Her time as a star is almost complete. How many more stupid things will she say before she is gone?